Let's start. Shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, guys and dolls.
Good,
Good morning.
good morning.
Yes, there are only two dolls whom I can see. The third doll I can't see. So, good morning, guys and dolls. So, first and foremost, before we start this, I would like to thank Hiru and Ashok for giving the licensees this great opportunity of expressing themselves, to know what is really happening to them, to know why did they join LMI, and what was their journey up to now, and what do they think about the future. So once again, thank you very much, Hiru. Thank you very much, Ashok. Uh, I think we first started with some senior licensees, and now Hiru has started, giving this opportunity to early. I think Madhavi also had gone through this. I couldn't attend that, and now it is Shruti. Sorry, now it is Shweta, and I'm sure there will be others also. So even rookies, it's a great idea to let them know. Okay, so let's make this a session where we will see as to what is really happening to them, because I would think we must go for the feeling. So how does the person really feel, and what could he or she do to move ahead, right? So we'll start with that. So Shweta, first thing is I would like you to introduce yourself. Give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much, Amin. And I would also like to thank Dr. Hiru Bishlani and Mr. Ashok Khusru for providing me this platform and opportunity to share my journey, LMI journey so far. Thank you so much for this. And yeah, so talking about myself, I'm an MBA by qualification. I have done MBA in Human Resource Management from ITM Business School, Kharghar, Navi Mumbai. And I'm also a certified project management professional in Prince methodology. I also hold an executive postgraduate diploma in strategic human resource management from XLI Jamshedpur, and a leadership and change management diploma as well. I'm also certified into personal profile analysis, which is a psychometric tool from Thomas Profiling. Overall, I have 13 plus years of experience in corporate world, majorly into HR and learning and development and organizational development, some of the these projects as well. I'm born and raised in Madhya Pradesh, a very small town named Sivni, which is close to Nagpur, 120 kilometers away. And this place is famous for Jungle Book. If you have watched the cartoon serial Jungle Book, the Mowgli land, it is famous for that. So Sivni is surrounded by Pench Tiger Reserve forest area. In my spare time, I like to watch movies. I watch lots of Hollywood movies and Bollywood movies too. And I like to listen to songs and reading books, mostly non-fictional. And I follow Indian cricket. I follow Indian cricket. So that's something about me.
Super. So you're very talented. Great. Lots of things that you told us. It also, in fact, for me, for example, I don't think I have that much of qualifications and talent, but it's great. Super. Very nice to know that. Tell me, with all these things, how did you come to know about LMI?
Before joining LMI, I would say around 2013, 14, in fact, uh, I was planning for my future in corporate world because, I was into corporate world. So I was planning what to do next. You need to plan your career. And so I was thinking what to do. And I had a couple of options. Being in the HR, you have majorly got two, three choices if you want to continue into the corporate world. Like you can be the journalist or the head of HR, or you can choose the specialization as well. And I was doing some thinking, some analysis, and I realized that learning and development and talent management, leadership stuff, which entice me more, which interest me more. And but there was a time also in my life in 2012 or 13 when I started thinking that I need to think beyond corporate world as well. I should try something more on the other side of the business, and that led to me into the LinkedIn world. I started exploring more on LinkedIn, and that's where I got connected with Hiru. I received Hiru's message over LinkedIn, and then yes. I got connected with Aziza over call, and that followed by call with Ashok, I still remember I had spoken to Ashok for almost, 1.5 hour over call. I had a lot of queries, and he helped me resolve those queries. So that's how I came to know about LMI.
So what went well at that time? What really got you into LMI?
Yeah. So what went at that point of time is about LMI India website. Uh, there's a lot of information available about the programs, uh, and it's very, very structurally managed. So I think a lot of my queries got resolved through by going through the website itself. It has established a credibility, I would say, a trust, I would say. And of course, the call with Ashok, because initially you have a lot of queries, and the moment your all queries get resolved by some senior person, it helps establishing the repo and credibility. I think that was the best thing which happened. And I after that, whatever sometimes I had the queries, I kept on going and visiting the website.
Okay, super. Could anything have been done better at that time?
Uh, okay. If I look back now, and since I have the experience of being into the HR field, I can say some of the suggestions just from my perspective could be some initiatives or things which we can take in order to keep the licensee, LMI licensee engaged and warmed up, because I believe it takes some time to come to people into the LMI business, which is a fairly long time. And so what happens is in HR also we used to do this, for example, recruiting the senior person, sometimes it takes months or years to, get them engaged or recruited into the organization, which requires a lot of work in terms of engaging them. And it depends on the, of course, the scenarios. So in our scenarios, I think keeping the future prospects licensee, warming them up or engaging them through, maybe various emails, or having or involving them into various complimentary webinars, or sharing them the newsletters about LMI, could be the things. Yeah. Yeah.
So why did you choose LMI then?
Yeah, that's a very well thought decision, I would say, So like I shared with you in around 2012 or 13, I had started thinking that I would like to go to the other side of the business. And the reasons for that was that I wanted to choose the autonomy, which you generally doesn't find into the corporate world, flexibility. Being on the other side of the business gives you more flexibility, more control over your success. So yes, there is a success path in corporate world too, but I think there's a lot of parameters. Nowadays, the scenario has changed. And not only your performance, but whole lot of things which are out of your control are actually responsible for your success in corporate world. Um, so there is a reason I wanted to move from the corporate world. No politics, no biasness, and of course less perception management in corporate world. I believe uh, be managing your perception is a big deal. It's a big deal. And apart from, of course, your performance, your potential, and a lot of other things. So if I come to other side of the business, less perception management, you can be more authentic the way you want to be, and not the way you want to be perceived by others. And of course, I wanted to choose the opportunity, business opportunity, which also gives me the platform for my own development as well. Because I think since childhood, or I would say since beginning, the way I become aware myself, I wanted to develop as much as possible. I also wanted to come on the other side of the business because of the work-life balance as well. Being on the corporate world, actually, most of the time, this is just my experience. I'm sharing. You are majorly focused on the one aspect of your life, which is a career or the finances. So I thought on the other side of the business, which will give me an opportunity to make the work-life balance, and focus on the other aspects of my life as well. Yeah, and also I thought that is there anything else which I can pursue, which I'm passionate about for the rest of my life, you know. So I started doing after that a lot of self introspection. Being into HR gives you that opportunity, that you get exposed to those kind of stuff. So I started doing a lot of self introspection. I did my SWOT analysis. I did some personality assessment test as well to explore what are my strength areas which I can focus on. I spent some time in terms of understanding my interest and passion. And I also researched about the people with similar backgrounds, and I also tracked their career growth paths as well. So when I was planning to choose and to come on the other side of the business, um, I was also, thinking that that particular option should also be financially viable option. And also, what is the future of that particular business or that particular industry in India, you know? And so I consulted with a lot of my seniors, well-wishers, industry experts. I decided that I would like to be into the learning and development field only, but on the other side, you know. So I consulted with a lot of my seniors, people who know me since very long time, those who can give me good advice, industry experts, and that's how I chose to, take this call. And I also assessed actually my risk appetite as well. So what to what extent I can go, and what is the right time after 1 year, after 15 years, 10 years, what is the right time. So I did a lot of analysis in terms of that. And so I explored actually some options, not like so many options, but yes, some options. So I came to zero down to LMI because of reasons like structured capability development process. The calls or the discussions which I had with Ashok, I realized that uh, there is a structured capability development process in place already for licensee prospects. And I realized that it's a low investment option. And I would say that in comparison to other business opportunities, because I had explored some business opportunities and I realized that um, uh, compared to other businesses, LMI is fairly involves low investment and low risk, at least in terms of keeping in mind my experience and strengths. Uh, and also, I had realized while initial discussion with Aziza and Ashok, that you can have your own team as well in future, and then you can grow exponentially as well if you feel like. Number of programs available. It's not only one program, but series of programs are already available. You have the flexibility to venture out into other non-conflicting business as well if you want to. LMI is an internationally recognized brand, and I feel really very proud in saying that because and while growing up, I had this dream of pursuing my higher qualification from any overseas university, but due to some financial and other reasons, I couldn't go. But when I came across LMI, I thought, wow, it's a USA based organization too. So I felt, to some extent, at least I have fulfilled my that dream, that desire. So it's a process oriented approach we have. And of course, with initial discussion, I could found out that the ROI of the business is achievable in a certain amount of time. So I chose LMI because also the dual impact which it has into the business as well as people. Uh, and being on the other side in the corporate world, I knew that this program has got immense potential. This business has got immense potential to grow. And also, I liked the process, which is short-term duration. It is a short-term duration sessions which we have online 2 hours and offline 4 hours. Why I say that? Why it is critical for me? Because while I was managing learning and development function, and I used to see, the trainers coming and speaking for one full day, 2 days continuously, and I used to ask question to myself, can I do this? And answer always came to me was no, I can't. I can't just stand over there for 8 hours and just talk and talk and talk. It's just not my forte. So the short duration program it's what really I like that. Yeah, 2 hours, 4 hours, very manageable. I can do that a weekly interaction, which I like. Why I like this? Because it gives you time to prepare for the next session. And I hugely believe in terms of preparation for doing anything. So I need time for myself to prepare for anything. And weekly time is fairly good enough time. And also, I like the facilitation and not training because facilitation is majorly about probing and questions. So that's a different approach. Uh, and I was also, I would say, it was easy for me to choose LMI because the course content is, already available. You don't devise the course content and spend a lot of time into that. Uh, and we have the best content, of course. I also thought that what happen if I join LMI, with what kind of people I'll be, surrounded with. And so I realized that I'll be speaking and interacting with people into the corporate world who will, qualified, be professional, successful people. So that also made me thinking that, wow, I'll be surrounded with a lot of successful people. I'll be meeting with a lot of successful people. What also helped me make choose LMI is assigning of the mentor or coach. Uh, uh, Being on the learning and development field, I had realized that having a coach in your life for whatever situations you are facing in your life is very, very critical. So, if somebody is there in your life to help you resolve that problem, nothing like it. So, if mentor or coach is assigned to me in terms of establishing this business, helping me becoming more successful, wow, that's a great thing. And I also wanted to transform my life, while helping other people. And I thought that if I have to help people to transform their life, I have to start from myself first, you know. So, and overall, when I uh, analyzed all these things, I found that I realized that I have found my ikigai, and all of us, that concept. So I thought that if not now, then when? So that's the reason why I chose LMI.
Super. It's absolutely awesome and amazing that you did so much of research before joining LMI. What could have stopped you from joining LMI? You said so many things that made you take LMI.
Yes.
What could have stopped you? I mean, this is important for us to know,
Yeah.
so that the ML office also knows what really works, what doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your feelings and what do you want to do? So, like, you had so many things that you said for which you want to join LMI, or for which you join LMI. So I only would like to see that you don't get disappointed with any of those things.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, what could have stopped you from joining LMI, if at all?
If at
With
all.
all the research that you did, all the great points,
Yeah.
what could have stopped you?
I think one or two things I could say that if this pandemic would have happened a little bit early, so I might have extended my decision. See, let's wait for 6 months or so, and then come to the business. Another thing could be exploring the other options, which is related to my field. Let's say I was into leadership development field, and there are many other consultancies which are into which engage or hire the learning and development professional for as a consultant basis, as a consultant, for the various leadership development activities, which is assessment center, 360 feedback, or other kind of leadership development interventions. So, in terms of the operation side, I'm saying, so if not LMI, then I might have explored that kind of option, which is related to that field. But one thing is for sure that I would have been on the other side of the business sooner or later. I've not. That's what the decision or the call which had I had taken long time back, that I would be on the other side of the business. If not LMI, then maybe some other business. But yeah.
Great. Now that you have decided to join LMI, and you are already working somewhere uh, in the corporate world, so what are the challenges you faced to join LMI after having decided, okay, I've decided I'm going to join LMI? What are the challenges? Did you face any challenges to join LMI before joining LMI, since you're
Yeah.
in the corporate world? Yeah.
Yes. So having done lots of research and reading as well, yes, after that also I faced some challenges. One of the challenge for me was the investment. Uh, though I invest was low, but it is low as compared to other business opportunities. For me at that particular time, uh, 4.5 lakh rupees were more. I will be very, very honest in saying that. And this would be, I don't know, would be the challenge for, I don't know, depending on each and every one scenario as well. And so I had shared this challenge with Ashok, and we worked out in some options, which was like win-win situation for LMI as well as for myself, and that was a great thing. I think that has helped me made joining LMI decision faster, I would say. Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
other challenge was that taking the or the pursuing this business opportunity little slow, because at the time also I was so taking it little slow so that I can manage both the things simultaneously was also a challenge for me. And another challenge, or the critical challenge, second critical challenge was for me was my health issue. Uh, so I had to go a minor surgery, which required me to be on computer just for 3 to 4 months, and after that some recovery time as well. So that has also, extended my joining to LMI. So these are two, three critical things, challenge. And another one I would like to share is reluctance to sell. I don't know, it might be a challenge for someone, may or may not, but it was a challenge for me because, facilitation being in the L&D field, yeah, you are aware of the process to certain extent, but I thought that, my God, I have not sold anything in my life as such. Can would I be able to do that? And so I did some thinking, and I had realized that as part of my, HR or the corporate world, at some or other point, we are actually selling, if we had taken some initiatives, and I have been involved into that project. So I was meeting some stakeholders, senior stakeholders, and anyways, to a certain extent, I was selling the concept in terms of getting their buy-in and implementation of that particular project. So, I was selling. Another thing which I realized is that if I have to be in this game, I'll have to follow the rules. It's like cricket. If you are a batsman, if you just like batting, but you can't refuse to your captain that I don't want to go onto the field during the fielding because I only batting or I'm great into that. It's rules of the game, and if you want to play the game, rules. It's simple. That's why I decided that whatever it is, I have to sell, and I'll sell. I'll do that. Yeah. So these are the some of the challenges to join LMI from my perspective.
Super, super. So now that you've already joined LMI, I hope this reluctance to sell is over. You've overcome that.
Yes, yes, absolutely,
Super, super. And if you haven't, then you need to meet up with people, okay,
yeah,
and see what you can do about it, right? Okay,
absolutely.
I'm willing to help if required. Okay, great, super.
Right.
Now tell us, now that you already decided to join, when did you really join LMI? What was the date, and what happened to you? What did you feel in the first few days or first few weeks? When
Yeah,
you start with telling me when you joined LMI.
yeah. So I joined LMI in specifically on 15th of October 2009, which I remember, and it's my mother's birthday. and I think I visited and met Hiru. It was like an kind of interview and interactive session, and then I met Aziza, and she helped me went through the physical manuals of our PPP and other manuals of facilitation as well. And so I think I started my journey on 15th of October 2019, and I think after few days or so, Ashok was supposed to be in Mumbai for his tour, and we did fast track 2 days induction, in-person induction. And after that, the EPP sessions, remaining EPP sessions, we had over a Zoom call. And after that, yeah, December 2019, the sales certification with case started. Yeah.
So what are good things that you discovered after joining LMI?
A lot of good things. I mean, I have discovered a lot of good things after joining LMI. Every licensee is being assigned a mentor or coach. There is structured mentoring and a coaching process which happens. Uh, a new licensee has to go through. Senior mentors are always available and approachable as per the need. I love the idea of Zoom sales role play with K. I have done myself a couple of them, yes, and and of course once you are ready, the mentor or the coach helps you with uh, joint Zoom sales meeting if it is an online platform, and of course the field sales meeting if it is a offline platform. And I believe joint Zoom sales meeting is a great way to learn if you want to explore your online offerings, of course. Weekly sales meeting, it is a great tool in terms of you know uh, giving you the closing and start of your week in a very structured and disciplined way. So I don't remember. I think I might have missed only 2 or 3 WSM so far, which I remember. I'm not very sure, but not more than that. I'm fairly regular into that because it helps me on my toes, I would say. And lots of career development sessions, the CDC sessions which we have and which we had in fact in the past has helped me immensely in terms of clarifying my doubts, and all senior facilitators of LMI sharing their experiences, how they have evolved into LMI business has helped me a lot. And of course, I had realized that there are different approaches to be successful in LMI business. The only thing is you need to identify what works for you, basis your circumstances, basis your realities, and yeah. So keep your eyes open, but do assess what works for you, basis your personality, your experience, your context sphere, or your location. So a lot of good things which I have discovered about LMI after joining. Yeah.
Super. Now, in retrospect, could anything have been better at that time? With all the wonderful things that LMI has done, do you think there could be anything better?
Uh, uh, Better. I mean, we are doing absolutely a wonderful job in terms of helping the LMI new licensees starting or helping establish their business. In my experience, one or two suggestions could be in terms of, for example, little bit. More, I would say, handling or hand holding in terms of ensuring the prospecting pipeline is there. We do prepare the list of probable prospects, but ensuring that it's continuously flowing, so that there's no dearth or the loss of the prospects after a few months. So ensuring and hand holding that it's there. We do that, but to certain extent, I think if some more efforts. Also, I think we do a lot of Zoom sales role plays, and we do share the feedback through email, but I think if we do verbal discussion just after the meeting is over, just like we do in joint Zoom sales meeting, I think that would also greatly help, because once we have done just now the Zoom sales role play, So everything is just fresh in the mind. So in spite of going back and again seeing the video when you have the time, and then noting it down, you might lose some stuff which might have incurred to you during the Zoom sales role play. So I think if the verbal feedback, verbal discussion, or debriefing happens then and there, I think that would also help. Other than that, yes, we do roamer. uh, we do share monthly roamer. Uh, but I think for new licensee, I'm specifically talking about, uh, sometimes if we can have like verbal discussion with senior mentor or people, just maybe a telephone call or something like that, just to ensure that everything is in the right perspective, what has happened in the last week, and what has been planned for the next week. That would just, I would say, minimize the errors, so that that gap will get minimized. This is just some suggestions which I thought from my experience. It may or may not helpful for LMI, or may not be, implementable. This is just my suggestion from my side.
Thank you, super. Uh, how easy was it for you to leave your job?
I would say, I wouldn't say difficult. It was a very tough choice to leave the job. But I think I had made up my mind to come onto the other side of the business for a very long time. I had planned very well. Uh, so that made easy, I would say, in terms of leaving the corporate world. So I did put up my paper on 14th of Feb, 2020, last year, and I had to serve 2 months of notice. And so I started my journey as full-time licensee since 14th of April 2020, and I shared the news with all my colleagues and friends. Uh, I think I was confident. I had self-belief about my decision because I had a lot of analysis, lot of planning, and I think the CDC, National CDC, which I attended in Goa in 14th and 15th of November 2019, I think that has affirmed my decision to join LMI, I would say, because I think I had seen what happens over here, and I think also I had planned on my professional front, I had planned on my personal front, I had planned everything on my the financial front as well. So I think that has helped me move to the other side of the business.
Super. You said you left on 14th of Feb, is it?
Yes, yes. So I put up my paper on 14th of
That's
Feb.
a Valentine Day. That was Valentine Day. So
Yes,
you gave up one Valentine to join another Valentine.
and that's the reason I chose particularly this day so that I can remember it. So it's
Super. So
I
now you joined at a time when the pandemic really happened in a few days, right? After you joined.
absolutely,
How
absolutely.
did you feel at that time? Now that you've given up a full-time corporate job and this pandemic has happened, and how did you feel about it, and how did you deal with it?
To be very honest to share with you, I mean that it was actually not a dream start of a LMI journey. That you start your LMI journey and the pandemic happened. So absolutely not a dream start. And I must share that when I was serving the notice period, some of my senior colleagues in my previous organization, they came to me and they're like, Shweta, we know that you have put up your paper, but you should consider it because something big is going to happen, economy is going to get down, and you will regret your decision. In fact, some of my friends, so I didn't pay attention to their advice honestly, because nobody at that time knew how much would be the effect of this pandemic on every individual. So I honestly didn't pay attention to that advice. At later point of time, in I think at the March end or April first week itself, some of my close friends also suggested me, that I should consider the talking to the management in terms of taking the resignation back, so that I can continue for maybe few months and then leave the organization. and they would consider, keeping in mind this is a pandemic situation and all those stuff. But then I thought that I don't know. I had conviction and self belief in myself. I thought that if not now, then when? And there were many factors to think like that, because I had no financial liability or loan, no mortgage, etc., no family liability as well. And I thought that if not now, then when? And I think I got into LMI skin uh, fairly very early. So it was, I think, difficult for me to start the business. So, and I thought it's everything is aligned, everything is in place. We'll see about that later on. So I did not even think about twice to extend it further. Yeah.
Super. So it was your conviction that made you join LMI, and in spite of the pandemic, you stuck to it and you didn't think of going back to your job. That's very good. So what did you do really in the pandemic? What actions you took to keep yourself engaged with LMI?
Yeah, so I think in March end or April, every one of us were aware that way that it's pandemic and it has happened. So what I did do is I did not take a break even after quitting my job, not even a single day break. The moment
Super. Super.
was my last working day at W Group, and the very next day my LMI journey started. Not even a single day break. So I, thought of continuing my own disciplined life the moment I get up. And I thought that this is a time when I need to focus on building my capability as much as possible. So yes, pandemic happened, and before actually I could panic, LMI came with, which is EPPO. April itself, 2020, I enrolled for EPPO, and so a lot of apprehensions actually got removed, I think, automatically. And then AIE happened in July 2020, and so I enrolled for AIE as well. So that kept me engaged. And then in August, I started with ESS on my own. I enrolled for facilitation certification in August 2020, and then EPL started in November 2020. In between, yes, I did couple of Zoom sales role play with K. I did couple of joint Zoom sales meeting. I think I started from the month of July or August itself. Even if it used to happen like even one meeting per week or one joint sales meeting maybe in 10 days, but I started with that. I started focusing on building my relationship with prospects, and that happened in the April. I joined BNI, and yeah, so I started building relationships, having one-to-one discussions with them, and that has helped me establish my credibility there. In fact, they appointed me as their feature presentation coordinator because of my the credibility and trust. In fact, recently this week they have offered me the position of secretary and treasurer as well, which I have politely refused. But yes, in terms of establishing the network and building the relationship which I had focused on during this pandemic, I had also started thinking on what things can work for me and what things cannot work for me. And EPL has also played a great role into that, being more self-aware about myself, about LMI business. The CDC sessions have helped me a lot in terms of narrowing it down, in terms of my decision making. And of course, pandemic has helped me in terms of establishing and in terms of spending a lot of quality time with the family. I would say the greatest thing which also has happened in this pandemic to all of us, I would say, is doing the business or the work from home. You can do lots of Zoom meetings over on digital platforms, so your activity levels increases. And I feel really great about it that sitting at at the corner of my home, I can actually connect across India. I really feel great about it, very very positive about it. So yeah, Absolutely, these would be my achievements. So to summarize, spending time in terms of improving my capability, understanding LMI business more and more in depth, I would consider those two, three things would be my achievements.
It's a very eventful year you had. You did a lot of research before joining LMI, and then you joined, you gave up a full-time job, and the pandemic started. Okay. So how would you describe your 2020 year 2020 in just 2 words?
Well, I would describe 2020 as my, learning year. Learning in terms of my building my capability, learning in terms of being more persistence and having patience, and learning in terms of, I would say, being more aware about myself, being more evolved as a person. Yeah, my strengths,
So I
exploring.
said in 2 words, 2 words.
It will
How
be
would
my
you describe 2020 in 2 words?
learning year. It will be my learning year. Absolutely.
Super, super. Could you have done anything better during pandemic? This might help you to answer what you were trying to say now.
I think I could focus more on one-to-one sessions, that would have helped me better, and increasing more my activity level at the start itself, So that would have definitely helped me. Connecting with more COIs and prospects would have definitely helped me if I were more aware, if I look back.
Super. So now you know what can work for you, right? Super. Now you mentioned earlier that you went through the LMI research and you saw several programs and things like that. So what is your favorite program out of all the programs that you thought of, read about, or did, or you went through the program? Which is your favorite program and why is it your favorite program?
So at this point of time, I would say that EPL has made a huge impact on me, because it has helped me in terms of understanding myself first, and exploring life and from the broader perspective, having a broader horizon, and if having more awareness about my own vision, my purpose and mission. And I think if that is aligned, if that is in place, if you have the clarity about that, then EPP program can definitely help in terms of achieving those goals and those your visions. So I think at this point of time, I would say that EPL has made a huge impact in terms of broadening my horizon and looking life from a very very broader sense. It has helped me evolve as a better person. Absolutely.
Super. As a new licensee, what sort of MLO support do you get?
So various
And
things.
could anything be done better?
Uh, so a lot of things, like I said, MLO team do better, provide a lot of supports like Zoom sales role play, Zoom sales weekly meetings, which keeps new licensee like me on track. Uh, what could be better next week, those kind of stuff. And of course, the MLO team members, Nirali is always approachable. A lot of CDC sessions which we do helps us a lot, and also I think we are anyways able to catch up with the other businesses in terms of making our business online. So we already have the online offerings available much before I think other people can explore. So we are, I think, way ahead in that terms. And yeah, and of course the Friday evening bash, though I have attended very few, but I think those are also few of the things which we do in terms of ensuring that people do not get fatigued. Yeah, so I think we what we can do in terms of if it is online sessions, then various ways to keep the licensee engaged so that they do not get too much stressed out. That could be the things. Yeah, but we do a lot of things and we get a lot of MLA support. Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely amazing. You've done a wonderful job. I will ask you just one or two more questions,
Sure,
and then for question and answers. If anybody has got any questions, okay.
sure.
Well, it's a little personal question. What are your goals for the next 6 months?
Well, yes. I would say that, I mean, as I mentioned, I have done a lot of LMI programs in last 1.5 year, starting from EPP print version and then facilitation, sales certification, then in pandemic EPPO, ESS or AIE, and now EPL as well. So because of all those things, setting the goals has, I think, become a part of my habit. You know, it just comes automatically. 7-day goals, weekly goals, it just comes automatically. So as part of my EPL goal, in fact, I have prepared a short-term 6 months goals, and I have made it in all the areas of my life. So I would like to share like couple of goals. The professional goals that I would like is that I would like to sell 30 EPPO and 10 AIE programs by next 6 months. And also, I would like to organize two executive showcase programs for EPPO, and of course, practicing on my facilitation skills so that I become competent. So EPPO and AIE would be the major priority for me. There are other mental and education goals, like I would like to read 2 or 3 books at least in next 6 months, and would like to explore the option of tying up with any referrals or associations as well. And on the personal front, as you mentioned, I start my day at 6 a.m., but I would like to, start a little early, and I would like to join the 5 a.m. club, and working on it, absolutely. And another my personal goal is that I ensure that at least Sunday afternoon onwards time, I do not set any goals. I spare, and I give that time not to do anything. It's just for that, and I ensure.
Super, super. It's an art to be able to do nothing.
Yes,
And that you should learn from a guy called Amin Merchant.
absolutely, absolutely. So I do that, and I do ensure that in every 2 or 3 months, I have this short duration of vacation to energize myself, refresh myself. So spend. So these goals help me in terms of keeping me balanced. That I am focused in terms of my work, as well as I play or have fun whenever I want to and need to. So sometimes it happens, just to share with you, on Sunday afternoon, that sometimes, because I like watching movies, or if it's a Hollywood movie, sometimes it's like a movie marathon weekend, something like that. So it does whatever I want to do, whatever I want to refresh, to get refreshed or re-energize myself. Yeah.
Super. You said, I heard some time ago that some prospect appreciated you very much in your call, whatever. Okay. Can you tell us something about it? Can you tell us something about it?
So yeah, I would love to tell you about this. And
That
so
was a great victory for you, I believe. So what was that?
yes, yes, yes. I would love to share this with you. I mean, it was actually a joint Zoom sales meeting with Ashok, and this prospect is actually a talent or the learning development head of one of the large MNC. And yes, to give you the exact sequence of the events, of course, Ashok logs in like 10 minutes early, sometimes 15 minutes early. So he logged in like 10 minutes early, actually. And there was some technical glitch, and I was not able to see his videos. So he logged out, and he told me that, Shweta, I'll be logging it again by switching off my computer. I said yes. And in the meantime, the prospect logged in. So because most of the time these prospects, they run short on time, so I thought, while Ashok will come into the picture and he'll start his pitch in terms of our city and all, our typical Zoom sales pitch, I started the our city presentation, and in between Ashok joined in. So once the moment I completed the RCT part, our sales pitch part, initial part, uh, uh, the prospect, she started saying, that, Shweta, I must appreciate you for your this presentation. You have actually completed in 14 minutes. So mind you, she mentioned this 14 minutes, and she actually mentioned that most of the time, Shweta, I keep meeting, people, but they are not able to catch hold of my attention. And you were able to do that too on Friday evening. Most of the MNCs, they have Saturday and Sundays off. So you were able to do it on Friday evening. And I must appreciate you for your this presentation. It was very short, crisp, and precise, and it takes practice. I can see that it takes practice for such kind of presentation. So it was a great appreciation, and it was a wonderful day for me. And I must share this with you. In fact, what with every one of you over here is that particular prospect has also enrolled for one-to-one EPPO, and it's really a great deal for me. A great deal for me. And
Super. You deserve a big hand for that. Super.
so much. Thank you.
Super. Super.
And other than that, yes, verbally, another prospect has also confirmed me for AI facilitation as well, and will be starting from the February last week. And yeah, and this the EPPO we will be starting from 10th of March. And yes, I have had wonderful meetings with some of the prospects in past, and uh, three proposals have been sent to three different prospects or the organizations, and I'm having positive expectancy in terms of having some good follow-up meetings and some more closes as well.
Keep
And
it up. Good luck to you. Good luck. Good luck. I'm sure you're going to make it.
thank you.
Last question.
Yeah,
We give a lot of power thoughts.
yeah, yeah.
So, what is your favorite quote of Paul J. Meyer? What
Uh,
strikes you?
yeah, yeah. My favorite quote of Paul Schmeyer is, "Whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon, must inevitably come to pass." And I am saying this from bottom of my heart. Absolutely.
Why do you like this quote?
I mean, I like this quote because I think I can relate it with it at a deeper level. I think not necessarily every time you need to write down the goals, but even if you have what you want to do in your life, you have the visibility of it, if you have the visualization of it, and if you're internally motivated, it's your inner desire which it comes from within, and you actually have the conviction and self belief in yourself, and you're enthusiastic about it. You don't need anybody to motivate you, or you don't need any kind of activities to do it, but it just comes from within. I think you're bound to get the result. You're
Super. Super. That is the key to success.
absolutely. I
What you
think
just said, belief
yes,
and action and visualization and ardent desire, all the four.
yes.
Super. Great. Thank you very much, Shweta. You've answered a lot of questions which I had, and I'm sure these questions are going to allow us to introspect and to see what we could do best to help the new licensees or any rookies or even the senior licensees. Okay, great. Now I leave this open for question answers. If there are any sessions, any questions, anybody, please.
I mean, I would like to say that whatever I have shared so far, and whatever the little success which I have as on today, I would like to pay my gratitude to Dr. Hiru Bijlani to get me introduced into the LMI world. And I would like to thank Mr. Ashok Thusu as well for coaching me, mentoring me, doing my hand holding. And whenever I need it, I get stuck and I call him, and he's always available to resolve my queries. Thank you so much, Hiru. Thank you so much, Ashok. And I would also like to thank Kay for lots of help in terms of Zoom sales role play, WSM meetings, and recently, which we started, the sales problem identifier. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. I would like to thank you, Amin, in terms of giving a different perspective. It helps a lot. And also Dr. Rao for his jalsa always before any meeting. I simply enjoy it.
I would also like to thank Anand and Dilip as well for their wonderful sharing whenever it happens in terms of their experiences. And all the CDCs, the facilitators of all the CDCs, it has helped me a lot. MLO team for their support, and all my LMI licensee colleagues for all my programs, because I think collective sharing of learnings helps you grow much faster. So I would like to thank everyone for whatever I'm here today, for whatever little success I have got. It's all because of you. Without your help and support, it would not have been possible. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Super. Any questions, anybody?
Questions, anyone?
Yes, give it a big hand. Give it a big hand. So it was a 1 hour, almost 1 hour talking, okay, answering questions. Super. And you did it very nice, very confidently. Any questions, please? Yes. Anybody? No questions? Hello, is there any questions? Say yes. If there's no questions, say no, no, no. Fine, super. No questions? Then we end here. We end. Anything, Hero, you would like to make? Ashok and Hero. Ashok, would like to
Yeah,
say
Hero first, Hero, then I'll.
all right, whatever.
Hero?
Yes, Hero. Hero, are you here?
Yeah, I'm very much here. You can see me physical, mental, everywhere.
Yes.
So yeah, I think, Shweta is absolutely outstanding in the thoroughness with which she covers things, and her articulation is also superb. I am reminded of the sales role play that she did where Ashok was a salesperson, she was a prospect. And it was so thorough and comprehensive. I've always called it the model role play for somebody to learn from. And I think Ashok had put it out in the group, etc. So thank you very much, Shweta. That's very outstanding. And thank you, Amin, for having taken her right through the entire drill of her, partly her life and her entire LMI journey. And also, most importantly, talk to her about the future of where she's headed in her personal and professional life. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hero, it has been a sharing in CDC. I mean, helped in a powerful way because of very insightful questions and very, very good questions. And Shweta is so eloquent, and I must compliment you and from sharing from your heart. And I must also compliment you on your courage to enter the LMI business in April in the face of a storm. This courage which you have will give you everything. So just one more big, I don't have anything. One more thing. Thank you. Lovely.
That's it.
Yeah.
So once again, Hero, there's a lot of background noise. Please mute yourself.
Hi.